up, though, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Luke G's Field Review. It is that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. That is correct. It is draft season, and that means Luke G is going to do some film review, and we'll go from that. But today is something totally different, people. It's absolutely different because instead of me doing the film study by myself, I've decided to get myself a little bit of help because I wanted you to be able to have more than one set of eyes to see the things that we see. And for today's video, that help comes in the form of the Hook Cam. What up, though, Cam?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me on, and I'm excited to get into this film of Amik Robertson, absolute stud, and I'm ready to get into this thing.
As y'all can see right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have up this man, Amik Robertson's career stats from Louisiana Tech. Now, let me just help give you some measurements. He's probably about 5'9", 5'10", not the heaviest, but he's got a little bit of a fight in him. And it was one of the things that I definitely noticed when I decided to do a look at him. I really felt comfortable enough to say that this is a guy that the Lions definitely have to take a look at. Cam, what are some things, strength and weaknesses that you notice with Amik?
Yeah, so Amik is he played as a primary corner, and I think that he was more into the boundary, which is the short side of the field. For those of you who don't know, Amik is about 5'9", but what stood out to me is first and foremost, he's fast as hell. The dude can get off a block, come up and make a play. He does need to work on a little bit of his tackling skills. I'm a firm believer in your corners need to tackle, but all in all, as far as pass coverage goes, I think he does an excellent job of body control. He only committed 2 penalties his entire time at Louisiana, or excuse me, I don't know if it was entire time, but I know it was at least in last season, 2019. He only committed 2 penalties as a corner, which is absurd. Match that with his 16 passes defended, and of course, as you can see on the screen, his 5 interceptions. That's a lot to talk about as far as playing smart, playing clean, but also playing very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. One of the things that without me even knowing his stat line on the film was I saw a lot of the same things you saw. I saw that speed, I saw that anticipation, and that dude, once he plants his feet, he's gone. But when you look up people and you see that this man has 14, that's right, 14 interceptions in 3 seasons, you'd say to yourself, wow, that's pretty good. And he's got 3 touchdowns, pretty good. He's got 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. That's pretty good. You know what stood out to me, people? The simple fact that man got 23 total tackles for a loss. That lets me know that he is not afraid to come up and put his helmet on a person. So, just wanted to give you a little bit of the background behind him. What we're going to do is right now is we're going to get into the game. All right, people. So, as we promised the film, now keep in mind, you know how we do it here on the field review. We go with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now, we're going to obviously start off with the good. And there was a lot to be said about this. This particular film comes for the 2018 season for him, where they were going against LSU. And my attitude to it is if you want to see what a person can do, see what they do against the best. LSU was still a very good team during that time. So let's get into it. Now, Cam,
yes, sir.
Do not be afraid, okay, to cut me off. Get in there, all right? Get filthy. Let's do this. Let's talk about this film. Right here on this play, man, what jumped out to you on this play?
You know, what I love about this play is his ability to read and react. He gets his nose in there, is able to make a tackle low. That's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, by the way. He's wearing a different number last year than he did this year. I mean, he's a top running back prospect this year coming into the draft, and he sticks his nose in there and gets a tackle. Right now, it's not the greatest of form tackles, but he's getting low. He's diving out, hitting that thigh board, getting his man down. I love everything about it.
Yeah, I was very excited to see him avoid the blocker, shoot it at the right angle, avoid the blocker, and not be afraid to get in there. So if you are not paying attention, people, Mr. Amik Robertson is right here. Yeah, that's right. Let's keep an eye on and see what he do. So as they come up, they're trying to get him off balance. But watch this right here. Boom. Nope. That's what he wants. I want y'all to pay attention to this, because if you don't understand how important this is, I'm gonna slow it down for you, and that way you'll be able to have a better appreciation for it, like we do. Cam, as we slow this down, let's talk about what you're seeing right here.
Like it is the ability to react and kind of sift through that madness, and you see a lot of times, even in the NFL, where it's like corners get caught up with their eyes in the backfield. Maybe they're looking in the wrong spot. Maybe they're getting caught up with linemen. Yeah, he's coming from the outside, but still, how often do you see corners in the league come up and stick their nose into this thing like he does? It is an excellent job by him coming up and making the play. But again, like I said before, his ability to react on this, come up and make a hit, and we don't know what happens if he's not there on that. You don't know what Four could do.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't attempt to shy away at all. He shot up in there. So you definitely want to do it. Okay, so, I'm going to leave this one off, because this right here, to me, is about as good as it get for a cornerback. Y'all know that I say it again, I hate when people are this close and refuse to put a hand on him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robertson does not have that problem. What jumped out to me in this play was he did an amazing job redirecting this receiver. That's all you can ask for from a cornerback. And he uses the sideline very well. While the play is going on, Cam, man, touch on some things that stood out to you.
Yeah, so, like you said in this play, I love the fact that he redirects the receiver to the sideline. For anybody wondering why he doesn't have his eyes inside on that formation like he did on the last play, it's different coverage for them. He's pressed up. He's going to jam. He's trying to get this receiver off of his track. And, just from a receiver standpoint, you look at that sideline as another defender, right? Obviously, you step out of bounds, play's done. So there's a great job from him utilizing that sideline to his advantage. And then once he does stop and flip his hips, he's not behind that receiver. He's running stride to stride with that cat, and he's ready to make a play on a ball if it does get thrown to his side. I liked this rep all around. Yeah,
the fact that he was able to literally stay step for step with him, push him towards the sideline and press it. And keep in mind, it's 3rd and 1. So and this is the most important part right here. Notice that he keeps his leverage towards the inside so he can force him outside. He can easily keep himself right here, and if the guy tries to initiate a block, he can shed that block and get up in there. But he just does a good job of riding him out of bounds, and I think this is another proof positive that this is a good rap for him, on all facets. So you just can't beat this with a bat, even if you wanted to. But again, it's more good than just this. We're going to touch on a few of the goods and then show you some development when it comes to Mr. Amik Robertson.
All right, fellas, in this next clip, we're checking out Amik Robertson. He's going to be at the top of your screen. He's pressed up, and that's a freshman Jamar Chase. And we all know what he was able to do this year in that LSU offense. But again, what we see from Amik Robertson is his physicality. Now, there's games being played outside on the edges of this thing, and that's why there's no strike off the bat with his hands. But he does a really good job with his hips, and that's something that I love about this, is that, yeah, there's a little bit of foot dancing with him, but we see Jamar Chase is trying to outside release with that. And once again, he does a great job being physical, pressing him to the sidelines, and playing a little bit of bully ball with a freshman. I love it. And on the back end of this, what I really like about it is he's staying disciplined to what his job is. And it's really easy for cornerbacks, for when a Q is scrambling, to try and come up and make a play on it, and you end up letting your responsibility wide open. Well, he does a good job on this of staying true to what he's supposed to do, driving that cat out of bounds, and just playing good hard-nosed football on it. I like everything about this rep.
All right, well, let's get it, people. I mean, because listen, he said it all. We watched this stuff together, so hey, let's get it. So we got it in a little bit of a slow-mo, but let's watch what happens right here. This is the matchup that you want to see. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, yes. Use that sideline.
Great job.
Use that sideline.
Yeah, and he's legitimately pressing him to the sideline on this play. This is a really, really good rep. And it's not against a slouch team, man. This is against number 6 LSU last year. It's good football players.
I mean, and stay right here. I know somebody's going to say, but he did not see Joe Burrow taking off.
Yep.
But here's the problem, people. He definitely sees Joe Burrow. Look at that. All right. Let me see if I can get my... All right, so he definitely sees Joe Burrow, and his head is there, but he understands if he abandons this guy, Joe Burrow will dump that ball off. His job is to make Joe Burrow do Joe Burrow stuff, and he does not need to force him out. But the fact that he's understanding that I need to use the sideline to my advantage, that's big boy football right there, people. That's big boy football on every level. And you could not ask for anything better than that. All right, people. Now, y'all know me. It ain't nothing better than having a player who's got too much swag, way too much confidence, and it displays. Now, if you have not noticed, he's right here. Now, this play is so simple, but it's what happens in this play that gets me so crunk. Look at the height difference between this man and him. I want you to pay close attention to that, because what he's finna do to him, not only does it get him fired up, he lets the receiver know pack of lunch is going to be a long day. Let's take a look at this really quick. As you can see, he comes up. He's ready to rock and roll. Now listen, people. When you got a cornerback who's initiating contact, I want you to look at this. If this for my people who's born in the 80s, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is Mike Tyson punch out. When they had little bitty Mike Tyson and everybody was 20 times bigger than him, look at the height difference. This is the punching bag drill when you got to hit it at the right angle to lift it up. Otherwise, it doesn't go up. Look what he does. Now, after he does that, look at this. He just got that one arm letting him know I'm about this life. I want all this smoke. But listen, once it's all done, watch the reaction from him. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah, come get some. Look how he wants him to know that you are not a factor. Me and Cam saw this, and the first thing we said was, man, that man got some fight in him. He is straight face guarding dude, letting him know, yep, you weren't gonna have your say so in this. Cam, what are some of your thoughts that you liked in this clip that we looked at?
Yeah, and it's for people who have been in a football locker room, and I don't mean for that to sound like I'm talking down to anybody. Clips like this, as much as they might not have an impact on that play, they have an impact on the game, and they have an impact on the team. The receiver, I'm looking at his height and weight right now. He's 6'6", 229, right? And our boy Amik's 5'9". So, I mean, that's a lot of height difference on him. That's a decent amount of weight difference. And he's coming to play, man. And this is something that as a coach, you're looking at it. It's a 3-point game. You're unranked going into LSU. You want your boys to play gritty, right? And what did MicroMike say in the live session we did the other day? Detroit's a gritty town, right? It's about being a gritty. It's about playing gritty football. You build it from the trenches. And there's a little bit of trenches mentality out at the corner position. I love everything about this play. Is it going to show up in the stat sheet per se? No, absolutely not. But I guarantee you that coaches and scouts are looking at this play saying that's the kind of swagger I want on my football team. All right, fellas, this next clip is going to be from last season against Texas. Some draft sites out there say that this is his worst film. And the first thing that Luke and I did when we heard about that, we went and we watched the Texas film. And to be honest, we disagreed. Right now, if you look at the box score, you look at the stat sheet, you'll think this was a very mediocre game for him. But when you watch the game and you watch clips like this, right, Texas has very tall, big, thick receivers. Right at the bottom, here's Colin Johnson. He's going to be about the same size as that LSU cat was, probably about 6'5", 6'6", in that range. Okay, and something that Texas receivers pride themselves on is being able to block on the edges. Well, Amik Robertson in this, obviously, he's going to be the underdog in this fight. Right, number 9's thinking I'm going to be able to come up on him. I'm going to be able to bully him, and I'm going to be able to get my running back some daylight to go score a touchdown on this. But on this play, Amik Robertson does a great job of staying in the fight. Number 1, not getting pushed to double digits, 10+ yards back, and being able to shed this block and come up and at least be involved in this play. Those were the big things that I saw sticking out into this one. So off the snap, right, there's a little bit of footwork going on. But this right here, so he's able to shed and then take a really good angle to get to that running back. Obviously, he gets pushed out of bounds, but it's the effort that you want to see on a defensive perspective, right? A lot of times, and Luke can attest to this, when you're watching film with the coach, he's counting to see how many times you're in the picture frame. Right, if you're coming across the field. And he's, again, the distance traveled isn't necessarily what's so important in this one. It's his ability to fight, get off this block, and be a little bit of a honey badger about it and get over there and try to make a play. All right, folks. So Amik Robertson, it's highlighted on your screen right there, playing off in this coverage. Now, again, this isn't an Amik Robertson idea to play this far off of the receiver. This is what their coach is telling them to do. Obviously, again, with Texas, if you paid attention to some of their football, they like to run a lot of vertical routes, really like to attack the sidelines, outside the numbers, get those big receivers in the spot that they make their money, per se, which is going up and getting footballs, getting high pointed. So on this play, I love the back pedal, the shuffle that he has. Luke might have some discrepancies with that, but I believe that that's the technique he's playing. But really the big part about this play is his ability to go up and make a play. And like we said before, right, only had 2 penalties called against him last year. And this is a really, really good job by him turning, right? He's getting in the receiver's face. And then once that ball is at a point where that receiver's going to high point it, he's going to jump up and try and push his hands through that catching point, and does a really good job. Now, of course, we're not working with the best film here, but I do believe it shows you some end zone footage of this. And you can see how he's able to work catching point. And again, like we said, it's not the best ball that Ehlinger threw, but at the same time, his ability to not get called for a penalty on this, right? How many times do we see corners in college who are just going and tackling this guy, making a boneheaded play? No. It is a 5'9" defensive back or corner going up against a 6'5" receiver and making a very good contested play on this football. No penalty should be called, turning his head around, trying to get in the way of that catching point. Excellent job by 21 on this play.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't say enough. I mean, to sit here and see him use the body language of the receiver to determine when to turn at the right time for the ball. Look at this. You can't time stuff like this. You don't even get this kind of reaction in Madden. I don't care if you cheat the game. He's turning, he's using all of that sideline, making it to where if this receiver wants this catch, he's gonna have to be Superman. And he keeps enough of himself between the ball and the receiver to where it's not even a factor. And he knows he does it. It's a very good thing to see, and I love that part of him. Again, these are all the good things that stand out with this guy.
All right, folks, next play we're taking a look at here. And one of the things that I have a point of contention with corners is being able to tackle, much like we saw in that first play we took a look at with Amik Robertson against LSU, right? His ability to come up and make a play on the football. Now, in this concept, right, from our number 1 receiver at the bottom, number 9, he's just going to run a vertical, right? He's going to run a go. Our number 2 receiver is going to run a really simple speed out, trying to pick up this first down, which they do. Right, but 21 does an excellent job on this play of noticing what's happening and coming up and making a play. Again, it's that recognition. And we hear a lot of times in the media, I don't care if my corners can make a tackle. And that's just not a theory that I'm going to buy into. It's just not. Nope. I need corners who can come up and make a play, right, who are going to be physical, who are going to make a statement, which is exactly what 21 does in this situation. Right now, we have to remember that 21's 5'9" and a $180. Right, he's going to have a tough time trying to tackle Sticks, who's probably got at least 20, 30 pounds on him. But the fact that he's coming up and making a play, not just getting run off the receiver upfield by 20 yards. You got to remember, if 21's not in the area on this, who knows where 6 is taking this ball? Right, he's gaining a lot more yardage, but 21's not about that life. He's coming up, making a play, ready to roll, and playing good defense for the Louisiana Tech.
All right, people. Now listen. I told you that this man is very physical. I told you that he loves contact. I told you that he is not shying away from anything. I need you to direct your eyes right here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where Mr. Robertson is at. Now, I don't want you to just look at this. I want you to look at this and then look at who's in front of him. This looks like Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron James literally out here playing receiver versus like average old Joe Blow. I mean, look at the height difference. The man helmet, his helmet got to probably be at like his chest or almost his stomach. It's horrible. But what I love about this is this little scrappy thing here. You know what? That should be his name, Scrappy. This little scrappy thing here does something that I was not prepared for. Rather than me actually talk about it, I'll just show you, people. Y'all not paying attention. See, this is what happens when you get bullied. And I'm not condoning bullying, but this right here is some of the best bullying I ever seen. let's just talk about what happened in this one play. First of all, if you still think it's a game, look at the height difference, people. He got him off his route, which is clearly supposed to be a timed quick pass. He then turns his head and locates the ball, people. Locate the ball while still bullying his opponent. This is David versus Goliath. Just stay with me, people. Had the presence in mind to track the ball while boxing up this giant monster, almost gets the pick. You can't ask for more than that, Cam. And Cam brought it to my attention. Cam was like, I was like, what?
Yeah, this play speaks volumes to me. And 85, I just looked it up. He's again clocking in at 6'6". Like we said, Texas loves their big receivers, right? Third down and short, you know that 11 is looking at his matchup of 85 on 21, and he's saying, I'm going to take that all day, right? But 21 knows that, right? You know that Amik Robertson knows that that's coming. So he puts his big boy pants on. He's ready to go, jams his cat, pushes him to the sidelines. It is a great veteran play by him. And then on top of this, the cherry on top is the fact that he turns back to the quarterback and is able to locate this ball, right? That's a great nose for the football. There's a lot of corners who I think would just keep pushing this cat out of bounds. He knows this ball's coming out quick. It's a 3rd down and 3. It's a quick passing situation, and he's ready to make a play on it. This play really, really spoke volumes to me when we were looking at Amik Robertson's film. I loved everything about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's part 1 of Amik Robertson. We got so much more to come. It was just too much good film to show, so that's why we had to do it in 2 parts. So stay tuned. Part 2 coming next. Hope you enjoyed this one. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.